Hey folks, Chris here from the Marietta National Cemetery with U.S. war dead from the Civil War. I'm here at the Marietta National Cemetery in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, the U.S. Army established this 23-acre cemetery back in 1866 on land that was donated by Henry Green Cole. He'd moved to Georgia from New York in 1838 to work as a civil engineer for a railroad. Later became a successful businessman in Marietta. During the Civil War, Cole remained loyal to the Union and spied for federal forces. Confederate officials arrested him and imprisoned him in 1864 for these activities. After the war, he returned to Marietta, where he lived until his death in 1875. He's buried in a family plot at the National Cemetery. Now, this cemetery, it does include one Medal of Honor recipient, Dennis Buckley. He was with 136th New York Infantry, received his commendation posthumously for bravery at Peachtree Creek, Georgia, on the 20th of July, 1864. It is interesting as we sit here and reflect on the events that took place well over a century and a half ago, in what was clearly the greatest existential crisis this nation has faced, with the exception perhaps of the War of 1812, when our near existence was nearly wiped out. The British burned the White House, sacked Washington, and our country was in grave danger. Civil War was the existential crisis. Second World War was a major issue against fascism, but the United States was never threatened with being eliminated. 2% of America's population died during the Civil War. 2%. Think about that number. Nearly 700,000 combat casualties alone. While it started as a place to bury Union dead from the Civil War, clearly it's a place, these national cemeteries, where veterans are laid to rest. Here we see Richard Reuben Hargis II, Georgia private, Army Training Corps, World War I, died 1957. John Thomas Leach, Master Sergeant, United States Air Force, 1298th Air Transport Squadron, World War II in Korea, died 1958. Lloyd MacArthur, Private First Class, Company B, 17th Infantry, 11th Division, World War I, June 28th, 1965. And we move on, we will see some of the Civil War graves here. You see some here. James Anderson, Corporal, Company D, 81st Ohio Infantry. J.T. Worrell, Sergeant, Indiana. Melvin Beilman, Illinois, U.S. Navy, World War I, died 1940. Memorial Day is a day we celebrate and recognize those from our armed forces who died in uniform, whether in combat or in training while serving in the uniform of the United States military. Thousands of graves here at the Marietta National Military Cemetery in Marietta, Georgia, folks. Each and every one of these has a flag next to the stone. Every person here is buried is either a veteran or the spouse of a veteran. If the spouse is buried with the veteran, their names are typically inscribed on the back of the stones. Remains of an unknown soldier. See the flagpole up there in the distance. Bud Robinson, Georgia, Private, 157th Depot Brigade, World War I, died August 21st, 1969. Lehman Dwayne Revlett, Specialist 5, U.S. Army, Vietnam, died March 18th, 2010. A family man and a patriot. Some of the newer stones here. You see one here. Spouse is on the back side of the grave marker. Iowa. See, these graves go on for quite a ways for this National Military Cemetery.